Hello and welcome to Livegistics. In this training video, we will be giving you a tutorial of the Livegistics Manifest Platform for scale administrators and attendants. For this tutorial, I am logged in as a scale administrator. This screen shows me a few additional options on the left-hand side, which we will dive into later on in this video. For now, we're going to start by showing you what you can do and what you will see once you are logged in as a scale attendant. On the left-hand side, you can see lanes, and it presents this screen. There are multiple pieces of valuable information shown here. First, we have our actual lanes denoted by different numbers, 1, 2, and 3, and are color-coded to prevent any confusion. Here you can see we have our loads for today, which shows us how many loads have come in for today, and we also have our time spent on the scale and our average manifest processing time. We also have our QC loads, which shows us how many quality control loads that there are currently. In this tutorial, I will show you later how to handle a quality control issue. Below, we have incoming manifests, which shows us the manifests that have been assigned to a driver and are incoming to the scale. When a manifest reaches the scale, there are two ways to process it. One way, if the drivers are utilizing the app, you can process that manifest via the lane screen. Once the driver arrives at the scale, they will drive onto a lane and select the lane that they are currently on. For this tutorial, I will select Lane 2. Once Lane 2 is selected on the driver's app, the scale attendant will see the information on that manifest. You can then click into the manifest, and you will see a QR code for the profile number and a QR code for the manifest number. Those QR codes are then hand-scanned into the scale software you are utilizing so that we can make sure that the profile and manifest numbers match. This is extremely important because if the profile or manifest number is incorrect, this can create a QC issue. The integrations will not communicate the information needed back into our system in order to create a proper weight receipt. Once you have input the profile and manifest number into your secondary software, we can go ahead and click Verify Manifest. This is going to bring us to the manifest with all relevant information input on it. We can see the signatures of the different individuals who went through this process, and once we are ready to sign, we will go ahead and click Sign and Complete, finalizing that manifest. This will bring us back to the lane screen, and we can then process more incoming manifests. You will notice now that we had 4 incoming manifests, and now we're down to 3 because once a driver picks up a manifest, our system knows that that manifest isn't coming. This is also true if a contractor assigns a manifest to a driver. Once that manifest is assigned to a driver, the system knows it's incoming, and it will be waiting for you in the Incoming Manifests section. We can utilize this section if the driver does not have the Livegistics app. When the driver arrives at the scale, they will need to give you the manifest number, their truck number, and their name. Once you have that information, you can go ahead and head down here. You will want to find the manifest that you want to process, and you simply click on that manifest. This will open up the manifest section with the QR codes, just like what happened when you selected the manifest via lanes. We scan the QR codes to get our profile and manifest numbers into the scale software, and then we click the Verify Manifest button. Once we've clicked Verify Manifest, we once again make sure all our information is correct, and then we click Sign and Complete. These are the two ways you will be processing manifest at the scale. Additionally, we have other options that show up along the left-hand side. Again, we're going to focus predominantly on the things that a scale attendant can see. And once we're done with that, we're going to go through the screens that are relevant to a scale administrator. The first screen that is both for administrators and for attendants is Incoming Manifests. This simply shows the section of Incoming Manifests, but as its own page. When you have a lot of manifests, this may make it easier to find what you're looking for. Underneath the Incoming Manifest screen, we have the Quality Control screen. This is where our QC tickets are going to show up. If we go back over a period of time using the date selector, we can see the rest of those QC tickets that may exist. Many of these have already been fixed or deleted. The system has ways of showing you what is missing or incorrect. We can see an X in the quantity, and we can also see that we don't have a signature here. These are all factors that will cause a quality control issue. The manifest needs to be signed by all parties and also needs to be communicating information enough so that we can get quantities and weights. beneath the quality control section, we have the processed manifest screen. This shows you all of the manifests that have been processed throughout the day. We can see manifest numbers, carriers, and when you hover over the check marks, you can see exactly when manifests were signed by the individual parties associated. If your facility utilizes batch manifests, you will also have this button here. This will allow you to view all the manifests within a batch. Those are all of the buttons that a scale attendant has access to utilize and see information. There is an additional button that scale attendants have access to, but it only gets utilized the first time you log in. That is your account button. When you first log into the system, it's going to ask you to go here. Once you're on this screen, you are going to use your mouse and manually add your signature. You want to make sure that the scale you are working at is put into the scale field. Once all of that is completed, you'll want to select Save, and that saves your signature for all future use. This means anytime that you click the Sign button within the Livegistics app, it will automatically apply that signature to that document. Now going on to cover Scale Admins. Scale Admins have a couple of additional screens. Number 1, they have the Projects screen, which shows you all of the projects that you have access to. Number 2, we have Scale Settings, which will allow you to see how the scale location is set up as well as add or adjust that setup by adding and deleting lanes and scales here. You can at any point in time change the color on your lanes, and you can change the lane numbers. At the bottom, you'll see an unattended load section. If this has been enabled for your location, then you can disable or enable unattended loads here. You can also set a password to allow a driver to bring a load in unattended. This should only be utilized if your site is utilizing it, and it will only be available if your site is utilizing it. Finally, for administrators, we have a very important screen called Users. This is where you can go in and add additional users. You'll see that it selects your scale company. When you select the user type field, you should be shown two types, Scale Admin and Scale Attendant. They each have all of the same functionalities, except admins have the ability to add additional users and use some of these screens that I showed you that are specific to the admin. When you've figured out who you want to add and how you would select their type, you're going to type information into the required fields denoted with an asterisk. You will need to enter a unique email address, meaning the email address cannot have been utilized on any other location or anywhere within our software before. It must be completely unique. Then you want to select the scale that you would like to add them to. Once all that information is input, you click Save, and they will receive the same email that you received in the beginning to set up their account and get into Livegistics. That is all for this tutorial. If you have any additional questions, you can always click on the chat widget inside of the Livegistics app. This allows you to chat with our support team immediately. Thank you for watching, and we hope you have a great day.